Hey, good morning, everyone. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us on today's webinar. For the people that don't know who I am already, I am Malik here over here with IAM's Insurance Agency Marketing Services, one of the annuity sales directors. And then today I am also joined by Mason, one of the VP over at VP of Sales over at American Life. And so today we got some fantastic information to share with you today. So I'm excited to let Mason go over some of the enhancements and changes they made to their products, plus some sales strategies to help you guys close more cases and have a good start to the year. Before we get into all of that, there are a few items that we're going to talk about today. So as we go through the slides, be thinking of the clients you would like to see quotes for. And please reach out to myself or one of your annuity sales directors after the presentation to go over any questions that you guys have. And then to start us off, why agents love working with us over here at IAM. So again, when you call over here at 800-255-5055, that is our toll-free number. Remember, you're always going to get a live person. Never have to deal with a dial by name directory. We do not have a voicemail set up. Again, that goes to show that we kick our best in class customer service off by answering that phone with somebody. Maybe it's the person that you're calling in for, but if not, they're going to get you transferred right over. Um, and moving on, so our few reasons why agents love working with us. Starting off with our new producer builders. Our new producer builder program is for those who are new to IAMS. So these bonuses are available based on your production level in your first 180 days of contracting with us. We have different levels that you can qualify for, as you guys can see on the screen. And as you guys can see, each level are going to have some great options. So we've got incredible business building tools, personal perks for you, and even cash rewards available. So I would encourage you to maximize that $1 million tier level, which is the highest level you can qualify for. If you would like to know where you stand towards your new producer builder, or if you would like to have a conversation about how to achieve this next level, please give myself or one of us a call here at 800-255-5055. All right, another business builder program that we do offer over here for our independent producers is our referred producer program. I do see a couple of advisors on here with us today, and that have already taken advantage of this program. Our business on the wholesale side of the industry is similar to yours in the field. So in that one of the best leads that we can ever obtain is from our referral, and one of one a referral from one of our valued producers. This is why we want to make it worth your while. So when you refer a producer over to us, and in fact, when you do refer a producer and they get contracted, we are going to cut you a $50 thank you check. And that's where the real money kicks in. And when your referral writes a piece of business, you're going to receive an override on that business. And so our ownership over here, Charles, Steve, Curtis, and Chris, I can promise you they love writing checks every quarter, and they love writing thousands of dollars out to you guys. So please be thinking of anyone that could benefit from doing business with our team, and you can type their information into that question box, and at any time, you can certainly email me with their information, and we'll get you guys paid just by referring a producer over to us. All right, moving below is our marketing reimbursement program. And this is for the lifetime that you are doing business with IAM. So for every $100,000 in FIA premium, you are going to get $100 into your marketing reimbursement account. Why this is so popular and lucrative for our advisors is we truly do consider this to be your money. You do have the flexibility on what services and when and who to use these funds with. It is your marketing reimbursement, so we don't tell you the vendors that you have to use. We will recommend vendors that we partnered with and leverage to reduce rates and preferred services. I can keep you guys updated. We've partnered with some new lead programs going into this year, so at any time, if you have any questions or would like to know about them, feel free to reach out to me or your annuity sales directors, and we can certainly go over that with you. We also have our creative team here to create a marketing strategy and provide in-house services for you guys. If you would like to know how much is in your marketing reimbursement account or have a conversation about how to utilize it, just give your sales director a call here at our office, and we would love to speak with you about that. All right, so our back office support team is another way we add value to your business. This is primarily the core of IMES and how Charles Hiring founded IMES many years ago. And so we want to help independent advisors work smarter, not harder. And we are going to do that with our great business building tools and resources, and of course, our advanced case design assistance. So I do want to chat with you guys a little bit about that today. We assist with the life and annuity quotes. We are going to get you those illustrations that you request within 24 hours. I say if it's super urgent, we try to get those back to you really within 30 minutes here. And then our submissions to commission support is handled by our new business team. So just a quick heads up, Mackenzie on our annuity team, and Michelle is on our live side. They have fantastic teams who work day in and day out to get you those commissions quicker. And we are going to scrub applications and submit them on your behalf and do all the administrative tracking and get you updates on those cases as needed. We do this to ensure that you get your commissions as quickly as possible. This service is a way that we provide to all of our valued producers, and it's a way that we help you grow your business by keeping you in front of the clients while our team handles the back office support for you guys. Our IMES website is another great tool for our producers to use. And another reason why advisors love working with us over here. Once you are contracted, you're going to have full access to everything you see on this slide. There's so much more at imesinc.com. So if you haven't registered for our website, it is very simple to do so. When we're done with when we're done with this call, go ahead and create your account. I would encourage you guys to do so if you haven't already. We would love to see you on there. And there are a lot of great resources that are available to you, including illustrations, online forums, product grids, news, and industry updates to keep you guys updated on the latest trends. So would encourage you guys to go and create your account if you haven't done so already. All right, moving on is our advanced technology. And quite to be honest with you guys, that is quite frankly where the industry is leading. So going over our Luma is our newest partnership to streamline your application process. Most of our carriers are now on Luma Firelight e-platform, so you can go on one site to submit all of your business. Some carriers are going to do e-app only for some of their product lines, and we will also offer extra comp for utilizing the e-app platform. So if you guys are requesting those paper apps, again, I would start to transition or consider moving over to e-app. We want to make sure you are fully capable of utilizing the e-app. So make sure you ask your sales director before you submit a paper app, because you can earn extra money by just completing and submitting it through the e-app platforms that you guys see on the screen. All right, so we do have a full in-house creative team to help your business. We have a turnkey items available out there for you. Many of our sales resources are white label, so we can simply impose your contact information and your business logos onto it. Speaking of logos, if you haven't created a full customized brand for you or your agency, we can certainly help you with that through our agency solutions and name recognition, which grows your natural market organically, which ultimately is going to lead to generating more revenue for your guys' business. Our digital marketing solutions are a very popular topic around here at IMES. We can help you create a website, social media marketing, email campaigns, and much more. And the internet and social media sites are where the overwhelming majority of prospects go to for information. So making sure you are accessible and representative in those marketing lanes is very beneficial to growing your business. Reach out to me after this webinar concludes, or or your annuity sales director, or life sales directors, and we can certainly talk to you about how to access the IMES Creative and get that ball rolling for you guys. All right, so we also offer a complimentary marketing analysis for our agents to explore new sales ideas and programs, whether you're new to the industry or even a seasoned producer. This is a free assessment that we can help boost your business with insights on your website, digital presence, branding, and current marketing activities, as well as recommendations on trusted vendors from everything from lead generations to seminars and social content. Again, if you haven't put together a marketing plan for 2026, I would encourage you to reach out to one of us, and we can certainly get that ball rolling for you on the marketing analysis part for you as well. Moving on is our IMES Wealth Management. Something we're continuing to see a lot of growth on is our sister company. It's a SEC register RIA. So anywhere in the country, if you're an investment advisor or a security license, or if you're considering becoming one, give us a call. It's a growing part of our industry, which gives you an opportunity to be a holistic advisor and not just an insurance advisor. I do want to let you guys know we are expanding over to the RILA space as well. We realize that that's where a lot of the opportunity that we're missing out on. So it's going to be a nice way to keep all of your business in one place. If you guys do have any questions, please reach out to me, and we can get that ball rolling with our IMES Wealth Management team. And moving on is our Life and Annuity Academy. Another big thing we do a ton of training on and education around. We're doing about 300 webinars a year, so we have over 1,600 on our IMES website, on our YouTube channel. From cybersecurity to carrier product, focusing on marketing sales ideas as well. So you'll see different types of topics that we come out with every other day here at IMES. And then we think it's important to get people to live training events. So many of our competitors or carriers don't do that anymore, but we do have a very in-depth, intensive producer academy opportunity for you, which is a really great opportunity to get you in front of and hear from our top multi-million-dollar keynote speakers, and hear from some of the best sales marketing programs in the industry. We are planning on having one here soon. Once I have more details on the dates and we can lock in the date, I will pass that information out to you guys if you are interested. And then moving on is last but not least is we have a great social media presence. We are out there on Facebook, LinkedIn, and other platforms. So I encourage you to follow us. And if you don't have an account set up for your business, I would encourage you to create one as well. Just another great opportunity. And there's a lot of great content ideas that we circulate around there. I appreciate everybody listening. And now I'm going to pass it over to Mason over at American Life.
Hey, everybody.
All right, Mason, I think you're all set.
Great. Thanks, Malik. I really, really appreciate it. Can you just confirm real quick if you can hear me okay?
I can. Yeah, I can hear you okay.
All right. I'm going to share my screen, then I'm going to start my slide deck here. Can you confirm if you can see my slide deck? Should say American Life Growth Through Partnership.
Yeah, I do see American Life growth through partnership.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. Well, thanks so much, everybody, for joining today. Malik, I appreciate the warm welcome. I do have one slight correction to make for you. I would love to call myself a VP here at American Life, but unfortunately, I'm not there yet. Working hard to get there. Someday, hopefully, I will be. But right now, I actually just started a new role as a lead internal wholesaler here at American Life. Just received that new title last week. But thanks so much for the warm welcome, Malik. Really appreciate it. I'm excited to talk American Life with you guys today. I'm going to walk through a little bit of our highlights, what's going on, what's happened in 2025, what we're looking for in 2026, and great ways that you can partner with us. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. I always like to start with giving a little bit of a brief story on kind of who we are, so you guys know what we're all about, where we've been, so you can have a better idea of where we're headed. Headquartered in Lincoln, Nebraska, right down the road from IAMS there, so we're kind of neighbors. I'm located actually over here in Kansas, but our home office is in Lincoln, and I always like to point that out because we have 190, well, it's probably more than that now, but when we created this slide, we had 192 employees there, and we're continuing to grow. So we're growing intentionally. Our home office presence, that's where all of our operations and all of that good stuff is located. Homegrown, training from the inside and growing from the inside out. They have a fantastic team there. Just like with IAMS, they pick up the phone right when you call. All those people are in the same location. We're all working towards the same goal, which is providing excellent service and products for you and your clients. We've grown to over $4 billion in assets. Obviously, that's a number that continues to grow and change as we get bigger and bigger. And of course, we sit at a B++ rating at AM Best. You look at our history, originally founded in 1960. So we've been around for a minute, but we are newer-ish to the new 2018. Were purchased by Antarctica Capital back in 2023. And of course, we exceeded for the first time in 2024 over $1 billion in annual annuity sales. Pretty excited about that opportunity. Looking forward into 2025, we've expanded into several additional states, including Alaska, New Hampshire, and Washington, as we continue to look to grow. I'm going to share more on that specific piece here shortly. But we're excited about 2026 and everything we have to work with you guys and your clients on. So where we are from coming to assets side is, again, we're sitting over 4 billion now. You can see a little bit about our trajectory here as we continue to grow. Very strong, very intentional growth. One of the greatest stats I like to talk about with our leadership team is how, we went from, if you look at 2023 to 2024, this speaks to a lot of the management, the investment people, how intentional we've been with our growth overall, going from 800 billion roughly to, closer to 1.2 billion in 1 year, a significant jump, all while maintaining very healthy balance sheets. So nearly 300% RBC. That year as well. So very intentional on the growth side. We're looking to grow, continue to expand, but we want to do it in a very policy holder and agent friendly way. State expansion. So I just mentioned 2025 was a great year for us. We filed in several states and got approval for both New Hampshire and then also Alaska and Washington. Alaska, we are a little more limited on. We don't have our max growth or our fusion policies there, but Washington and New Hampshire, we have all the others. This is a big push for us, right? You can see this map. We're not totally filled in there yet. It is something we are working towards. We understand as we continue to grow. If we're not in your state yet, give us a call, talk to us about the opportunity there, and we would love to have those discussions with you. But again, we're continuing to look to grow. That is a priority for us as we're moving forward here. And I think the proof's in the pudding. We added 3 states in the last year and really didn't start that push until mid-year. So speaks a lot to how we're working towards that as a team. One thing that I think has been a common subject for a lot of discussions in our space, specifically in the life insurance and probably more specific to the annuity space, is reinsurance. It's a word that when I came into the business 20 years ago was rarely used, if at all, rarely talked about. But it's becoming a bigger part of all of our conversations over the last couple of years. And it's important to know that the insurance company you work with know exactly how they treat their reinsurance relationships, right? I don't want to walk through every detail on this slide, but one of the things I always like to be sure and point out is the leverage thresholds. The industry standards 10 to 25 turns of leverage. At American Life here, our average is 4.9. What that means, conservative leverage lowers the risk of outsized losses and defaults, and that's a very policyholder friendly, protective position to be in, and that's very important for us. It's something worth noting and looking at. Product suite. So at American Life, we're great. We're easy to work with in that regard, in that we are very accumulation focused, right? So currently we don't offer any income or legacy building products. We are focused wholly on the accumulation side. That gives us an advantage in some certain ways. Before I jump into all of our products, I do have something I want to go over with you guys that I'm super excited about, and that is our enhanced commission program. So this is for 2026, right? We had this available in 2025. We made a couple tweaks to it. The one thing I'll point out is we dropped the initial starting level to $3 million to qualify at that 25 basis point level. So that is $3 million to get started with us. And then another thing I'll point out is that most of the other enhanced commission programs I've looked at, in order to get to that 1.5% tier, that middle tier that you see there, typically what we see is about a $10 million threshold to hit that. At American Life, we're at $9 million. $9 million gets you to that 1.5% level. And then, of course, we have that top tier at 2% at $25 million. And the other thing I want to make sure to point out, you can see there, through the first quarter here, we are doing a double credit promotion, right? So we finished the year in 2025 with a double credit promotion. We're kicking off the year. I want to extend that momentum out to you guys, and we're doing double credits for the first quarter. What that means for you, so any production that you write with us, and this is specific to the indexed annuities, so our American Select series and our Max Growth series, we count double credits towards the program, okay? So at 9 million, right, if you can find a way to send us $4.5 million in this first quarter, that gets you qualified at the 9 million level, and that way you earn the 1.5% on all of your policies through the end of the year on 2026. We pay that out in the first quarter, excuse me, of 2027. So again, double credits. Well, every dollar premium that you write with us counts twice, not towards the production side of things, but towards the tier qualification, which can make a big impact. So we're looking to start off the year strong, and this is a great way to do that. And run through our product suite here real quick, just so you know what we have available to you guys out there. We've got, again, we're accumulation focused. We've got our 3 and our 5 year MYGA. We have, underneath that, we have our MyGA, which is our 5 year. It's a combination of MYGA and indexed annuity, meaning that there's a guarantee component and there's the index component. We have our flagship indexed annuity, which is our American Select series. We offer both a 7 and a 10 year for that. And then within that, you have 3 different series, our base, our bonus, and our bonus plus. And then, of course, we have kind of our rocket ship built for growth, Max Growth product. With Max Growth, again, we're all focused on accumulation here. The Max Growth is heavily focused on accumulation, and I'll walk through the benefits of that here shortly. I'm going to jump right in. and do a quick review of index performance. This is a piece we recently created. So as you can see there, we've had some significant performance on the indexes that we look at or that we use within our policies. This is actually a nice little piece that we're going to be updating quarterly that you can take a look at just to kind of see and track. I know there's a lot of different indexes to choose from out there when you look at a lot of the different comparison sites. This will give you a spot where you can actually look at the indexes that are available on the American Life policies and just kind of keep updated on where they're looking at from the performance side of things. One thing I always want to be sure to point out is where we are and how we look at our renewal rates, right? So any company that you work with, right? You've got over 100 companies, I think, in the index annuity space to choose from, right? What's the difference from one to the next? What do we look at there? With American Life, one of the things we're really proud of is that I mentioned we kind of reimagined in 2018. I think we issued our first indexed annuity in 2019. We have not dropped one single cap, participation rate, or fixed rate on any policy since inception, right? We have maintained 100% level on every single policy. Obviously, that's not an easy thing to do, and of course, it's not guaranteed. But what it does speak to is if you look at, okay, what's the best way to look at where a company's going is to look and see where they've been, and this is our intention, right? So we've been able to maintain that to date, 100% level renewal rates. Real quickly, I want to go over our MIGA real quick. Obviously, I think everybody probably on this call is very familiar with how a MIGA works. Ours does work a little bit differently than some, so I want to make sure to point that out. We have very competitive rates, as you can see. 3 years at 5.2, 5 year is at 5.55. What makes ours a little bit different? You can see towards the bottom there, we do allow for 10% accumulated value free withdrawals, which is great. Not a lot of policies out there allow for that high of a liquidity amount to be paid out. However, if the client does not use that liquidity feature, if they don't take any free withdrawals, we actually put on the back end an enhanced interest credit. And what we're going to do, you can see on the 3 year there, we're going to credit 45 basis points at the end of the policy term. And what that will do is actually bring the overall rate of return, effective annual rate, up to 5.36 on the 3 year, and again on the 5 year, 5.55 guarantee. And if we don't take any free withdrawals, the effective rate would be 5.68 after the enhanced credit credited on that one of 60 basis points. That's a great little feature to have. It's a way for the client that doesn't know whether they're going to need to take those free withdrawals or not to be able to move forward with the ability of knowing the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to earn 5.2, and if you don't use the liquidity, you can earn 5.36. Again, that's on the 3 year as an example. One thing I always want to make sure we point out is that RMDs do not affect that, right? So if you take an RMD, we're still, but don't take any traditional free withdrawals, we'll still credit that extra interest. So I want to make sure and always point that out. We issue it up to age 90. This is a product I'm very excited about. I talk about it a lot. This is the MIGA that we actually developed. IAMS had a big hand in helping us develop this policy. And the reason I like it is it kind of combines the best of both worlds between a MIGA and an indexed annuity, right? So what it is, it's a 5 year term, 5% guaranteed rate, with the ability to earn up to 6.83% as the effective yield during that time. And how do you get there? If you can see, if the 5 year index performance threshold is hit, if we hit that 25%, meaning the starting date, the S&Ps at value X, and at the end of that 5th year, it's value Y, and the difference is 25% higher, you're going to get, or the client's going to get, a bonus interest credit of 9%, right? So the 5% is guaranteed, and then they get that back end of 9%. If we hit that performance threshold, giving us an effective yield of 6.83%. Okay. One thing to be sure to point out is, again, just like with the MIGA, if you take any free withdrawals, you're not going to get the back end bonus, right? So again, you're limiting the liquidity in order to be able to get that. But you can see that it's a very, very strong story with a 5% guarantee. There might be one out there, but I don't think I've seen one, my GIA product anyways, that has that high of a guarantee. 5% is the worst that's going to happen. 6.83, excuse me, your upside is the best thing that could happen. And again, it's binary, so it's you're going to get one or you're going to get the other, which is something that's nice and simple about it as well. Moving on to our flagship policy. This is where we see a lot of production. Our American Select series. When we talk about our index, our renewal rate strategy integrity, this is the policy we're referring to when I look at those numbers to compare to it, look and see what we've done on renewal rates. It is the American Select. So again, we have a 7 and a 10-year. This sheet here is showing us the rates for the 10-year, and then we have the base, the bonus, and the bonus plus contracts. As you can see, the base has very competitive rates. 4.25 fixed rate, 10% annual cap today, 50% S&P participation as well. One thing I'd be sure to point out on the base policy is that we do allow for 10% free withdrawals in year 1 of this policy, right? So 10% starting in the first year. So it is actually pretty liquid in that way to be able to access that. So good, strong rates, strong indexing, and 10% free withdrawals available year 1. The bonus contract offers a 17% bonus. This one does not have a fee. You can see it still has competitive rates at 3% fixed, 6% S&P cap, and one of my favorites, the 40% S&P par, is a very strong participation. And then, of course, we have the bonus plus. This is one of the highest bonuses obviously available out there. We offer it at a low cost of 80 basis points. It's not the cheapest bonus out there as far as fees are concerned, but it is on the lower end. So 23% bonus, 80 basis point cost, and you don't just get the 23% bonus or the jump in bonus going from the 17 to the 23 with a fee. The traditional or the standard bonus contract has 5% free withdrawals. The bonus plus puts us back at 10%. And they're not available till year 2 or beyond, but it does allow for more liquidity within that. And then one thing to be sure to point out is you see that second arrow from the top, 3% contract value at the end of the 10th year. What is that? That's the bonus interest credit. So again, much like with the MIGA and with the MyGIA, the Fusion, if the client does not utilize their free withdrawals, they can take RMDs, but if they don't utilize the free withdrawals, we're actually going to give them a 3% back end kicker at the end of the policy term that's applied to the contract value, right? So that's a nice little kicker and a way to kind of award them for not maximizing the liquidity that's in the policy, taking 10% free withdrawals. But again, they can take RMDs and they still get that. One thing I always want to make sure to point out, all of these policies issue all the way up through age 85, and we only drop the bonus by 3% at those older ages. So the 17 goes to 14 from 70, I think, well, I won't speak out of turn, but up through age 85, you can still get a 14% bonus, 75 to 85, 14. And then on the bonus plus, goes from 23 to 20% from 75 to 85. And to be clear, that bonus will fully vest on death, okay? Fully vested to the account value. Next, I want to go over our max growth. Again, I mentioned this is kind of our rocket ship. We're an accumulation-focused company. Our max growth is a further iteration of that. So if you think about a policy or creating a policy where you want to give the most growth to the client that you can, or opportunity at least for growth, right, to your clients that you can get to them. And the way to do that is you've got to be able to kind of limit the liquidity side of things. And that's what we've done here with our max growth contract. As you can see, 5% fixed rate, 11.5% S&P cap, right? I'm sure there's somewhere close to 11.5% cap out there, maybe higher, but what I typically see in that range, in order to get that level of a cap, you've got to have a fee attached to the policy, right? So with the max growth, we have no fees other than that, standard surrender charge, interest recapture. No fees cooked into those in order to get those higher rates. The way that we do that, and I'll walk you through it here in a second, is through an interest rate recapture structure. But again, no fees up front. We also allow for the ability to annuitize the policy over 5 years after the 5th policy year. That's a unique feature. It's kind of an older policy feature. You don't see too many 5x5 annuitizations out there anymore, but it's something that we allow for. You can take that entire, whatever the account value is at that time, and annuitize it after the 5th year over 5 years. And you can do that anytime after the 5th year as well, as not just the 5th year. Real quickly, the max growth 10 rates, wanted to make sure and highlight those. 5% fixed on the base policy. I do want to make sure I point out we do have some state variations not notated here, where we do have different rates in some of the states that we have max growth in, right? So you can see those are the states we have listed, Arizona through Washington on the standard rates here, but those don't apply to every single state that we're in. Want to make sure and point that out. 5% fixed, 11.5% cap, 8% performance triggered account. Very, very strong there. And then, of course, we have our S&P Market Agility and our Schroders Global Compass. It's a multi-asset index on there as well. The vol control indices on this policy are higher vol controls. They're not the standard 5% that you might see in a lot of other places. And specifically the market agility, I've been really excited to see how that's performed over the last year. It's been pretty exciting. It actually has the ability, that strategy has the ability to short equities, which is pretty unique. And with a 10% vol control, it's very strong in that way. Moving on, operational advancements. So we've done some massive shifts on the operation side to continue to stay competitive in that space. We get faster and faster at our processing. Of course, my operations manager is very proud of some of the technology and the logic they've been able to implement, everything from the new business to the suitability to policy issue to get us faster and faster. And I've been impressed. I've been at American Life just under a year now, and I know they made huge improvements before I started, and they've continued that story on to provide the top level service that we want to provide for you guys and for your clients, to be able to handle all of the different aspects from new business to issue to the service side, and getting faster and faster at a lot of those things. I shot an email over to some of my counterparts. I was hoping to be able to provide the fastest policy issue we've seen to date. I don't have that yet. I'll have it for you guys next time I do a webinar. But I've been really, really impressed at the speed at which we've moved forward. Updated suitability guidelines. We actually updated these in 2025. Always want to make sure that we point these out. One of the big things that you can see there, American Life is now open and considering replacements of contracts at least 1 year old, provided the surcharge losses are fully recouped by the end of the first year. Specific cases, obviously work with your counterparts at IAMS there. If there's ever any questions you have, I'm also happy to jump in and help where I can to provide that information as well. One thing I always want to make sure to point out that's not available everywhere is we do allow for Roth conversions here at American Life. We love that business. We'd love for you to work with us on that business. Feel free to give us a call, ask any questions you have. We've got some additional resources for you there. But of course, we allow for both partial and full conversions here, and just have a couple forms that you've got to fill out in order to get that process started. We kicked off a new agent portal that continues to be improved upon, and additional information added, and things that help you serve your clients. So that's something we're continually improving. I always want to make sure I point that out. And here's a couple disclosures I always want to make sure to go through, or that you guys have available to you. I apologize. I would normally have a slide at the end of this with both my contact information along with my external counterpart, Grant Smith, who's our external wholesaler here at American Life. But with that, I'm going to turn it back over to you, Malik. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys spending a little time with us here today at American Life, and how much we appreciate the partnership with IAMS, with you guys. We know that, without you guys, none of us have jobs. So we are certainly appreciative of the partnership and the growth, and the opportunity that we have in front of you, or in front of all of us, as we move forward through the rest of 2026 here. Thanks again for your time, Malik. I'll kick it back over to you.
Awesome, Mason. Thanks again for sharing all of that with us. I do have a few poll questions. I'm going to take 30 seconds with each one. Would you like more information on partnering with IAMS as your IMO for FIA and annuity business? Yes or no? If you guys can please go ahead and answer. And again, 30 seconds on each one. All right, sounds good. I'm gonna throw another one here. So would you guys would you like access to IAM support, training and production or product resources for American Life and other top carriers? Okay, perfect. That was all I had, Mason. I appreciate everybody joining in today's webinar. Until next time, I hope you guys have a great week. Thank you.